this never quit, never give up mentality, this fourth quarter personality that this team has. And I think back to what Mark Herbert poured into those boys, and it starts with give it your best. Give it your best. Number 2, get better. Number 3, treat others as you would want to treat others as you would want to be treated. And number 4 is never give up, never quit, never surrender. That is this football team. That is this football team. Give each other a high five. Game balls. Game balls. Game balls. The entire defense. Cameron Kicker! Josh Harris! And Justin Herbert! Who's got it better than us?
No! Brian Clark is alongside. He's a little bit of a crazy person.
Oh, a lot of bit of a crazy
But
person.
wired in such a way that seems to galvanize a group, because what he's saying all has merit and makes sense to that group of men.
He's wired in a way that empowers the people in his locker room. The things he says about Justin Herbert, the way he categorizes a guy like Derwin James. He says they're the best doing their jobs in the entire world, and you see that sort of leadership on the field.
Look, that kind of message can manifest itself in many ways. This was not a work of art. It's sloppy, but I think it's sloppy, Ryan, because the level of play on the 1-2 on both sides was as high as it could get. What did we see tonight?
There was so much sense of urgency. And we talked about that last play, and it was just a great job by Cam Hart. And this actually was a good call by Kevin Patullo that was read wrong by Jalen Hurts. Here, you're going to get an RPO. So Saquon Barkley is going to have the run fake. And what we're going to get on the back end is we're going to get Dallas Goedert to the flat here, and you're going to get a post corner by the wide receiver. Now, the guy to pay attention to on this play is Cam Hart. He's actually going to be the cloud corner, and Tony Jefferson is going to roll over the top late. Now, we're going to let the play go for a little bit, and we're going to pause right before the throw of Jalen Hurts so you can see the decision that Cam Hart had to make. Now, right now, what Jalen Hurts sees is that Cam Hart is the cloud corner, and he believes that he's going to cover Dallas Goedert. What he's doing is hinging. He's catty cornered. So now he can break down on a low throw, or he can break back to get underneath Jahan Dotson on this corner throw, which is going to allow him to tip the football and a finish by Tony Jefferson. As you let it play, you can see that Jalen Hurts feels like he makes the right decision. Cam Hart falls off to the corner, tips the ball, and then Johnny on the spot is Tony Jefferson. Those are the ways that you have to win big games in order to get yourself in the playoffs and keep yourself in AFC West contention, and that's what the Los Angeles Chargers were able to do.
You're part of the world in Louisiana. You got a million guys that you guys can brag about playing at this level. That's a young man that went to a place called Good Counsel High School that's in my neighborhood.
Love that.
And there's a lot of folks back in my neighborhood that are incredibly proud of what that guy did. He made impactful plays across the board tonight. T. Jeff, as he's known, made the catch, but that doesn't happen without Hart.
Think about Cam Hart. He gets the interception on the dig that's tipped to A.J. Brown. The play we talked about right here in the corner of the end zone is as big a play as we've seen the entire season by a corner, which allowed them to kick a field goal and send it into overtime. And then the tip to Tony Jefferson that seals the deal. This team makes plays on the football. When I was asked to do a tape pregame, I said, if you just miss against the Los Angeles Chargers, they will make you pay. And they did to Jalen Hurts 4 times tonight.
That's such a great point. If you're not precise, they'll penalize you, and they did. I don't know if they're great. I don't know that this year there is a great team. Their schedule is rugged down the stretch, but they're right there squarely in the mix at 9-4. As for Philly, Ryan, I feel like we're seeing it again. We were in 23. I know Jason didn't want us to bring it up. He's like, why you got to bring this up? We were in Seattle in December, and you could feel the Eagles they weren't spiraling, but they just couldn't get their feet beneath them, and it feels like it's happening again.
You remember we were in Kansas City earlier that year.
In the rain.
And Valdez Scantling drops the deep post.
Yep.
from Patrick Mahomes, and they win that game, and they go on to be 10-1 at one point in that season. But the entire season, something just didn't feel right. And it's been very similar this year. Something just didn't feel right early on in the year. And I'll be honest, I gave them the benefit of the doubt because what I've seen those men do on the football fields, the way I've seen them course correct. But this is continuing to be a pattern, and tonight it was as bad as it ever was because a quarterback that just doesn't turn the football over has turned the ball over in droves in the last 2 football games, both losses for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Is there enough time for them to figure it out and get it right?
Because of their history, I say that there is, and because there is no dominant great team, because we can see a team like the Los Angeles Rams that we truly believe in lose to the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers go to Green Bay and beat a really good Green Bay Packer team. But when I look at this offense, this isn't a championship level offense, but it's a defense that can keep you in every single game. And there is talent on that side, but there has to be a switch in philosophy to make Saquon Barkley the focal point of this offense again.
The concern has to be that he had that night tonight. He had the night that we've been looking for. Had the explosive, went for triple figures, over 100, and still in the end, it was not enough. 5 turnovers, and they lose yet again. That's now 3 in a row. RC, I appreciate you. We're bundling up next week, right?
Man, they say 10 degrees, though, Scott.
Our guy Horn's going to be inside.